Under Secretary Thompson, welcome to the border zone. Thank you for joining us. First of all, could you please assess the various types of news coming in recent days about different military trainings, Russian huge military trainings, NATO trainings, and especially recent news about increase of confrontation around Syria?
Yes, well, first of all, I just want to say it's great to be back in Georgia. I was here last year with the Vice President, and it's great to be back in the area. Again, just another affirmation of how important Georgia is a strategic partner. An example of that, you talked of the military exercises, the military operations. Just had a very successful exercise last month with Noble Partner, seeing what works when you have compatible equipment and our people, our soldiers and troops trained together. Just another example of the partnership. We've also seen the aggression from the north, and Russia is exercising. It's important, again, for our NATO partners, our strategic partners, as we continue to exercise and train together, and really for Georgia to look and assess what they need for their own defense capability.
But do you see the increase of different military activities now?
I would say that it's not an increase. I think we'd both agree that over the past 10 years, the global security picture has changed fairly considerably, very considerably. So I wouldn't say it's in the last month or two, but if you look over the spectrum of the last 10 years, it's changed very considerably.
How would you assess the relations between United States and Russia at the moment, considering the meeting between President Trump and President Putin, and considering the new sanctions and describing Russia as a threat and new U.S. military budget?
Yeah, it was important to have that dialogue. You know, the President had the dialogue with President Putin. We've had National Security Advisor Bolton had engagement with his counterpart. Last month, Secretary Pompeo has had multiple phone calls and engagements with Foreign Minister Lavrov, and we've had discussions in Washington, D.C. as well. But with Georgia, what we've worked together is how do we push back against that Russian aggression. I oversee arms control, verification, and compliance. One of many areas where Russia is violating international norms of behavior, not upholding their end of international treaties, from open skies to the INF.
And do you see the hybrid war? We talk about the hybrid war a lot in recent years. Do you see that the hybrid war is a main threat in the region? Do you have any, I don't know, medicine against this virus?
There's a myriad of threats. Hybrid threats is one of the threats. Again, part of my portfolio, I cover non-proliferation. How do you keep nuclear weapons falling into the hands of failed states or non-state actors, and working very closely with my Georgian partners on that. Your maritime security and border security, incredibly important for both of our countries and for the region. And Georgia's led a great example on reforms that are needed on the border and some great successes with that.
But do you have any medicine? I mean, Ukraine, Georgia, the hybrid war is going, and in Ukraine we see a conflict at the moment, war. Can U.S. propose something to its partners in the region against this threat?
You know, no one nation can solve all of the global challenges, but where our strength is we're better together. And that's where the importance of the strategic partnership, that's where the importance of Georgia and the United States, the transatlantic relationships, NATO relationships, among others, where when you get all the like-minded states together and working together towards that, that's when you get success.
The very important question for Georgia, since 2008, the United States consistently support the membership, I mean NATO membership for Georgia, and unfortunately we still don't have it. Isn't it a time for the United States to consider a non-NATO major ally status that will ensure the security and stable development of the country?
You know, Georgia has had great success and focus areas on reform in the past and in the current state. You've seen reaffirmation in Brussels in July, and we've had discussions again today on the reforms needed to move forward, and I'm very optimistic that in our partnership we'll be able to get there together. You know, at the end of the day, it's up to the Georgian people, and reform is good in whatever that end state is. We think that end state is NATO membership. I think the people of Georgia would say they want that as well.
Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.